Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters Robert Paris and John Vias, Peter Brown with the weather, Gretchen Carey with the community calendar, and Anthony Matos with sports. Thank you for joining us. We begin this week at the Vinebrook Water Treatment Plant, where state and local officials gathered recently to celebrate a major accomplishment. Burlington is now drawing millions of gallons of water from the MWRA, May State Water Resource, in part to create redundancies in the water system. Producer Sydney Bowles brings us this report.
1, 2, 3.
It was a project many years in the making to connect Burlington to the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority, the state body that provides drinking water to dozens of towns and cities. Burlington Town Administrator Paul Sagarino said it was a successful partnership with the state.
I can't really properly relate to you how impressed I was with the expertise and the professionalism from the staff at the MWRA. They were with us every step of the way, and they helped us navigate a very complicated process over the past several years. Truly amazing.
The construction of the project took place primarily in Lexington, as BNews documents it along the way.
When completed, the connection will provide Burlington with approximately 3.5 million gallons of water per day and allow the decommission of the Vinebrook treatment plant, the output from which has been impacted by the presence of the contaminant 1,4-dioxane. The new water source will be helpful for the town all year round, but especially at times when the supply is under stress from a lack of rain.
Also in attendance was Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll, who said as the former mayor of Salem, she recognizes the often unseen work of public works departments.
You know, as a former local official, to see an investment in infrastructure that's not only going to serve communities today, but allow for the continued growth and vitality of the community, it's really important. And this one has been just a long time in coming with, as we heard from some of the presenters, emergency declarations, trying to cobble together the system that you need to deliver the water that so many people rely on. Well, you don't have to do that anymore, and you're also going to have much higher quality water. And it was a real partnership between the state, local government, business community, all recognizing a need and then doing what they had to do to meet it. So it's pretty special.
Completing the project is a major achievement for the DPW, which also celebrated the opening of its PFAS filtration plant the same week. From the Vinebrook Treatment Plant, I'm Sydney Bowles.
Burlington community members came before the Select Board Monday night to voice concerns about a recent appointment. The concern was over the August 21st appointment of retired firefighter and lifelong resident Walter DeCoste to the Burlington Housing Authority. DeCoste was chosen over a man named Jack Nagel, who is the executive director of the Arlington Housing Authority and has a master's degree in public administration, among other qualifications. Resident and town meeting member Sarah Cawley said DeCoste's appointment reflected poorly on the town.
Good, high-qualified people are stepping up and saying they want to contribute, and they're being overlooked for well-connected friends. The message to future prospects is that unless you have the necessary access and connections in town, you'll be left behind for those that do, no matter how qualified or passionate you are.
At this Monday's meeting, the Select Board appointed Nagel to the Housing Partnership Committee, a separate body from the Housing Authority. DeCoste declined a request for comment. DeCoste will sit on the Housing Authority until the next town election in April 2024, when he'll have to run for election if he wants to retain the seat. The Recreation Commission is set to negotiate with a potential contractor over the cost of an outdoor facilities master plan. You may recall that back in May, the Rec Commission was awarded $62,000 for the plan, which will guide the department's decisions on equipment, amenities, and other matters for the next 20 years. But the lone bidder, Weston and Sampson, came in a little higher than what was available funds for, said Parks and Recreation Director Brendan Egan. Egan said Burlington's last outdoor facilities plan was created in 1999 and expired in 2019, so the town is more than due for a new one.
This is, a major plan for our department that we haven't had a new one in 3 years, going on 4 years now. Our last one expired in 2019, and this is really, a lot has changed, not only from planning what parks and what people wanted in parks and facilities over the year, from 20 years ago to now, but what people are looking for to go out in their recreation time and to do in parks has changed.
Mr. Egan said he thought Weston and Sampson may have misunderstood some of what Burlington's asking for, so there may be some wiggle room on the costs. The Burlington School Committee has finalized the language input for its upcoming community meeting. The committee is hoping for members of the community to share their thoughts and perspectives on whether or not the districts should combine Fox Hill and Pine Glen Elementary Schools onto one site, and plans to use the survey tool Thought Exchange at its September 18 meeting. Residents who attend the meeting will use a website URL or QR code, whatever those are, to access the question, and can then share their thoughts and vote on the responses of others. The language will read, as we look to our current school facilities infrastructure, we are seeking input from the entire Burlington community. We are currently studying the possibility of 1, a new standalone Fox Hill Elementary School, maintaining the current Pine Glen Elementary School, and 2, a new elementary school to include Fox Hill and Pine Glen schools at the Fox Hill site, but maintaining them as independent schools under one roof. There are no other options available on the question. If the solution for the Fox Hill School projects is to construct a new facility for Fox Hill only, the existing Pine Glen will remain as is until such time that a direction is determined to update the existing Pine Glen facility. A high school building committee has just been formed, and the options to update the high school will not be known for some time. Based on rough estimates at this point of the feasibility study phase, the estimated impact on the average annual resident tax bill for option 1 is $233 annually and $335 for option 2. No estimate on what the high school costs would be. What are some important priorities and perspectives to consider as we plan for improvements for our school buildings? The district has until December to tell the Massachusetts School Building Authority which option they want to choose, and then must get funding for the project from town meeting. The meeting is scheduled for Monday, September 18 at 7 p.m. at the high school auditorium and will be live right here on BCAT. Burlington's new assistant superintendent has begun a review of the school district's math curriculum, which has not been systemically reviewed in about 15 years. Dr. Lisa Chen's review includes formalizing priorities for math education and developing consistent expectations at each grade level so parents, teachers, and students can all use the same language. Many of the facilities projects scheduled for this summer have been completed now that school is back in session. BPS Director of Operations Bob Kuna reported this district has completed renovations of the Marshall Simons air conditioning, the Early Childhood Center bathrooms, the Memorial Elementary School kiln room, and the Francis Wyman Elementary School stair treads, among other projects. A much anticipated scoreboard has already been installed at Marshall Simons Field, with the first game using it was played last week. Lamppost and the gazebo in Burlington's Town Common will light up purple for the month of October in recognition of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. For the first time, exterior lights on Town Hall will also glow purple on October 28th, the date of an awareness walk organized by Burlington-based domestic violence prevention group, Saheli. Here's Saheli's senior domestic violence and sexual assault intervention advocate, Deepali Gulati.
Why purple? Purple is the color of domestic violence. It symbolizes courage, survival, and honor. These lights would send a powerful message and increase visibility by providing a very tangible way of showing solidarity with survivors and a commitment by the town of Burlington to end domestic violence. When people see these lights, it will promote a conversation, raise awareness about the issue, and inspire other organizations to join.
Saheli serves South Asian and Arab survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence. The Burlington Fire Department, which has been understaffed in recent months, has had 2 appointments approved by the Select Board. Fire Chief Andrew Conity recommended Benjamin Fishy to the position of firefighter paramedic. Fish is currently working for a private ambulance company and has been an EMT since 2019. Conity also endorsed Cliff Como to the position of limited assignment firefighter. Como has been a firefighter in Burlington for 34 years and retired earlier this week. Como served in his first shift on September 11, 1989, and during his last shift he performed the Toll of the Bells ceremony at the department's 9/11 memorial service on September 11th. As a limited assignment firefighter, Como will be eligible for special work details such as when there are fireworks. The new president of Burlington's Leahy Hospital and Medical Center was before the Select Board Monday night. She was there to introduce herself and to deepen the relationship between local government and the town's largest employer. The new president, Dr. Susan Moffett-Bruce, trained as a cardiothoracic surgeon and research scientist. She went on to lead the Ohio State University's Academic Medical Center. She also served as the CEO of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada. Moffett-Bruce said Leahy is looking forward to ambitious projects in the near future, including opening its teaching hospital, the UMass Chan Leahy Medical School, and an expansion of its radiology oncology services. Still, the doctor acknowledged Leahy has some challenges, including a workforce shortage. Here she is.
We are, like other hospitals, also incredibly proud of the work our nurses and physicians and staff do, but we're very aware that we do have quite a bit of a workforce crisis, as do most healthcare institutions in this country, because of COVID and the demands on our colleagues. And so we're very mindful to try to attract and retain our colleagues, and been very proud to have a nursing force and a physician force that continue to care for patients every day.
Leahy first opened in Boston 100 years ago and has been in Burlington for 43 years. Burlington Select Board Chair Mike Runyon acknowledged their longevity.
At any rate, we're certainly pleased that you're a part of our community and hope you plan on being so for years to come.
We look forward to the next 100 years. Thank you.
Burlington's Board of Health met this week, and Board Chair Ed Weiner, Dr. Ed Weiner, had a very seasonal message for the community as we head into fall. It's about 2 minutes long, and we're going to play it in its entirety.
It's that time of year again. The kids have gone back to school. The New England Patriots are back on the gridiron, losing. And the trees will still be turning color. And it's flu season. Flu season has begun. While the effects of flu varies, it places a substantial burden on the health of the people of the United States each year. You know, the CDC estimates that between 2010 and 2020, and that's the epidemiological data, the most recent that I could find, that flu has resulted each year in 9 million to 41 million illnesses. Each year, up to 710,000 hospitalizations. And each year, and I know it's an average and it's a range, between 12,000 and 52,000 deaths each year. And I'm going to repeat that. Between 12,000 and 52,000 deaths each year during that 2010 to 2020 period. So, it's time to get your flu shot. You really should get your flu shot. We are holding clinics for both high and regular dose vaccine, or you can get it at any pharmacy, any doctor's office, or where you receive your health care. Now, this is not a political issue. It is an optional immunization. Many of you have gotten the shot in the past. It takes a little bit of time. I got in and out today in minutes when I got my flu shot, and it could save you from getting seriously sick and even save your life. So your life is important to all of us here. Please get your flu shot. Thank you. You can call the Board of Health office to get more information.
We're going to put up a resource on the screen for you now so you can find a flu shot near you. Okay, you can go to that website. Burlington's beer gardens are back this month, every Thursday in September. BNEWS reporter John Vias stopped by. Let's look.
Raise your glass and say cheers. The Burlington Beer Garden has returned to the Pocket Park, a weekly event throughout the month of September that brings friends and family together for an evening of live music, good food, and of course, craft beer. Economic Development Director Melissa Tentopoulos talks about what it takes to collaborate with various local businesses.
The process kind of behind the scenes is a little bit more intense than you'd imagine, but we have a lot of collaboration here at the town, kind of the town of Burlington, DPW, facilities, highway, select board's office, the planning team. So there's a lot of different divisions that come in just to support. And on top of that, we have a great staff in economic development, because at the end of the day, we're really trying to just set this stage to bring, people come to the town center and be more aware of the businesses that are here in town, and to then generate more business activity for them.
A different brewery is chosen each week to show off their craft with the people of Burlington. The first week, on Thursday, September 7th, brought Zero Gravity Brewing from Burlington, Vermont to Burlington, Massachusetts.
We try to choose local in the sense of Massachusetts and New England regional craft breweries. And at this point, we've just collaborated with folks that generally have a tie-in with some of the food, or, it can make our time slot event, because that's a little bit of coordinating with time is important with the beer companies.
Tentopoulos also talks about how the creation of the Pocket Park has opened up a new door of opportunities for businesses in Burlington.
One thing that kind of inspires me is, before any of this was organized, it was just a space for, 4 parked cars and a throughway for more cars and traffic. And what we've done with taking back that space a little bit has been to make it a people-oriented space, so that you bring in foot traffic, kids, dogs, and bring in that activity that then kind of spills over, enlivens our town center. And then on top of that, when you're able to spend some money, you're supporting employees that work in the town, you're supporting business owners that work in town, and then they support other people and family. It's a real win-win when you're supporting local business.
3 more Thursdays means 3 more opportunities to visit the beer garden. Lord Hobo will be visiting on September 14th, Lawson's Finest Liquid on September 21st, and Mighty Squirrel will leap over on the final date of September 28th. From the Pocket Park on Cambridge Street, this is John Vias for BNews.
Now let's check in with the latest from BHS Sports with Anthony Matos.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos, and this weekly sports report. A lot has happened in this past week, and we have the scoop on what went down. Red Devil football had their season opener on September 8th against Westboro. Let's go to the highlights.
The Burlington Red Devils returned for their first game of the season, facing off against the Westboro Rangers in a loud and crowded varsity field. Let's hit the turf. Neither team scored in the first quarter, but Red Devils running back Joey Poland put 6 points on the board with a shake and bake into the end zone.
This one right side. He breaks free. Joe Poland making moves. He's still rumbling. He's tumbling. And a Devils touchdown. Touchdown Devils.
But a 2-point intended for Poland was no good. The score was 6-0 Devils going into the half. In the third quarter, the Devils were about to punt the ball back to Westboro on a 4th down, but punter Dan Hannafin dropped the ball and ended back in his own end zone for a 2-point safety, bringing the score to 6-2 Burlington. The safety punt resulted in Westboro returner Jake Martin going all the way, giving the lead to the Rangers 8-6, with the extra point successful 9-6. In the fourth quarter, Westboro kicker Aran Batia added another 3 points to their lead, 12-6. Burlington returner Ryan Brooks ran for a kickoff return touchdown, bringing the score to a tie, 12-12.
And Ryan Brooks, he's electric. Brooks, still on his feet. Ryan Brooks cuts it back. Ryan Brooks will take it for 6.
That was awesome.
Ryan Brooks ties the game in an immediate response.
An extra point gave the Devils a lead, 13-12. Westboro tried to take the lead, but the holder for the field goal kick failed to grab the ball, leading to a turnover on downs for Burlington. Your final score was 13-12 Red Devils.
Burlington will compete at Woburn Memorial High School on September 15th. We will have those highlights next week. As for our middle school junior devs team, they started out with a win, defeating Melrose 30-12 on the 13th. Congrats. Lady Devils field hockey were back at home against Lexington Minutemen on September 11th at Varsity Field. As you've seen these photos, the girls were laser focused because the game was scoreless until the Minutemen scored on a penalty shot with zeros on the clock. The Devils dropping to 0-3. The ladies will be in Stoneham on the 15th. As was taping, the game is still to be played. At the Patriot Golf Course in Bedford, the Red Devil golf team came up short with a 33.5 to 38.5 loss on September 1st. Their home opener on September 8th in Billerica vs. Arlington was postponed due to the weather. On the 12th, the team was at Oakley Country Club in Watertown, where they lost by the same score against Bedford, 38.5 to 33.5. Their Devils will be at the Country Club of Billerica for a home match against Belmont on the 15th. Currently, the team is 0-2. Lady Devils volleyball got back-to-back wins this week in Tewksbury, 3-0 in the sets and 3-2 against Reading. On the 13th, the team won 3-2, moving their record to impressive 4-0. The Devs will be back on the 19th in Stoneham. Both soccer teams had losses in their first games of the season against Winchester High School on September 8th. Ellie Matarazzo scored the lone goal in the 4-1 loss, while the boys were shut out 8-0. Both teams competed against Reading Memorial on the 12th. The girls had a 5-1 win over the Rockets with 2 goals from Shea McDonald, 1 from Lacey Lauder, and Anna Viglione and Brianna Thomas. As for the boys, they were shut out 3-0. The girls are now 1-1 and the boys are 0-2. Both play Lexington on the 14th. As is taping, the game is underway. Girls and boys cross country began their season on September 14th against Winchester. We will have those results next week. The combined Woburn and Burlington swim team lost by 20 in their season opener against Winchester, 91-71. They had a meet against Melrose on the 13th. Let's go to the meet wrap-up.
The first win of the year came for the combined girls swim team made up of Burlington and Woburn athletes when they defeated the Melrose Red Raiders 92-58. The meet also qualified a couple of athletes for the North Sectionals meet in November.
So the win today was awesome for these girls. They have been practicing real hard the last few weeks. We had some setbacks with not a lot of pool time, but they still did a great job today. They proved that to themselves by having 3 additional relay teams qualify for the North Sectional Championship in November. The McCarthy twins, Ava Eldridge will be out there, Sarah Herbst will be out there, Alex Mahone, we got Grace Davison. Those are a few of our relay teams. We also have Maria Brito, she'll also be out there. Those times are also subject to change. I'm looking to get those faster to get these girls into states as well.
From the Boys and Girls Club of Woburn, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Sports.
September 29th will be the next meet against Lexington. The Rohannes Park Open is this coming weekend. BNews Sports reporter Robert Paris had a chance to speak with the organizer, Scott Barrett.
Grab your tennis racket and head on down to the courts for the annual Rohannes Park Open. The event is usually in the summer, but it has been moved to the fall this year.
The Rohannes Open, like the last 15 years, has been in the summer. It always seemed to be, the weekend we chose was always a weekend where it's 90 degrees, 100 degrees, so that kind of hurt numbers a little bit. So we're thinking that moving to the fall where the weather's a little better, encourage more participation, and I think overall be a better experience for participants.
The tournament will take place September 16th and 17th, and registration is at burlingtonrecreation.org.
If it rains, it'll be the week after, but fingers crossed it'll be this weekend. So it's going to be the same kind of draws it's been the last couple of years. The men and women singles and doubles, junior draws, mixed doubles. The junior term is always, as a high school coach, it's a term I like to watch because it's kids you have coming up. So pretty much the same exact draws, just a different season.
Scott is looking forward to the event, and hopefully it'll be exciting for everyone without sweating in the summer heat.
Tennis, I feel, is always a relaxing sport, but I feel like moving in the fall, the nice weather is great. The U.S. Open just finished up, so we figured why not kind of make it around then. The pros play in September. Why can't Rohannes Open play in September?
From Rohannes Park, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
We do have an update. The tournament has now been moved to Saturday, September 30th. For more Devil action, go to bcattv.org/sports and check out our Twitter page at BNewsSports. That's all for now. I'm Anthony Matos. Back to you, Phil Gallagher.
Let's check in with the weather with Peter Brown and stay tuned for your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with Look Weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the last official weekend of summer. I know it's hard to believe that summer is now going to be completely done for us. We didn't have the greatest summer here in the Burlington area. However, the only good thing is we have plenty of water in the ground. We had plenty of rain this summer, so we don't have to worry about any drought conditions as we head in towards the fall at all, so that is some good news. Now, starting our period on Friday, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year in the mid-70s, and we're going to be good maybe 4 or 5 degrees below that, and this is going to be due to some pretty strong northerly winds coming in around the circulation of Hurricane Lee. Now, looking at our length of day, I know that's not a trick to the eyes for you there, folks, Our sunsets are now going to be happening before 7 o'clock at night, so you're going to have to really, when you're going out there after work, going out to do any errands, it is going to be getting pretty dark pretty early now. Now, looking at our temperature map, they're calling for us to have, again, above average temperatures here in most of New England, and that's definitely going to play out as we get in towards the end of the next work week, some nice weather coming out. But looking at our precipitation chances, again, nothing new for this summer that we've been seeing. Above average precipitation chances, but most of that is going to be coming in the form of what we're going to be getting out of Hurricane Lee on Saturday and early Sunday. So that's going to be coming with some pretty high winds. We're going to have very windy conditions out there on Friday. And as we get into Saturday morning and into Saturday during the mid portion of the day, we're going to see, I think, some of those heavy rains coming in from the backside of Hurricane Lee. The closer to the coast that you're going to be, the stronger the winds are. But we probably here in the Burlington area have a pretty good shot of seeing wind gusts to at least tropical storm force. So keep that in mind. Saturday is not going to be a day where you really want to be out and about. Now, the hurricane will clear out of here by Sunday. Temperatures will rebound very pleasantly up into the mid-70s again. Sun coming back out, still a little bit breezy as the hurricane pulls away from New England. And then as we get into the start of the work week, really beautiful out there. Monday, beautiful day, sunny skies, temperatures in the mid-70s. Then we're going to see those shower chances approach us as we get in towards the middle of next work week, but temperatures staying pretty warm. And actually, we are going to have to keep an eye out getting in towards the next weekend. We have, looking at far ahead at the long-range models, there is a chance we could have another very strong storm just south of New England. So just bear that in mind. Don't want to drive you crazy with that right now, but just keep an eye on that as well and stay safe out there on Saturday. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hi, and welcome to the Burlington Brief. I'm your host, Sydney Bowles.
And I'm your other host, Sarah Eshelman. We're here to bring you a no-nonsense,
maybe a little nonsense,
guide to what's happening in Burlington, from major capital projects to schools to business and society.
Tune in every week for fresh interviews with people at the center of local news and conversations between two journalists who know what's up. So subscribe to the Burlington Brief to make sure you don't miss a single thing and get the best of local news delivered right to your ears.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On September 22nd from 6 to 8 p.m., Memorial Elementary School will be having a Fall Family Festival put on by the PTO. For more information, go to memorialschoolpto.org. On September 23rd from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., the town of Burlington will be having a Household Hazardous Waste Day at the Fox Hill School. This is for Burlington residents only. For a list of suitable items, go to burlington.org. On September 24th from 2 to 6 p.m., the Indian Americans for Burlington will be having Diwali on the town common. Everyone is welcome to the event, and it is also free. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
And as we do every week, we're finishing with a photo sent in by a member of the community. This one comes from Gwyneth McNamee, who says this is a photo of a goat in a bucket at Stoneham Zoo in Stoneham. Thank you, Gwyneth. If you have a photo you want to see featured here, email it to us at bcat@bcattv with the subject line, Photo of the Week. Okay, and that's it for our program this week. Again, thank you for tuning in. We're going to leave you with some photos from Burlington's victory, hard-fought victory this week. I'm Phil Gallagher. This is BNEWS Weekly. Again, thank you for joining us.
That left last year were pretty impactful. That might have been the reason why, but a new brand of seniors this year to kick off the 2023 season. And Ryan Brooks, he's electric. Brooks still on his feet. Ryan Brooks cuts it back. Ryan Brooks will take it for 6.
That was awesome.
Ryan Brooks ties the game in immediate response.
No flags.
The special teams